Hi everyone, welcome back to my page. So today we'll be solving polynomials. Come along with me. So here we are having solve the polynomial equation x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x plus 12. So first we'll have to look at for the factors of x. So we have here x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x plus 12 equal to 0. So the first thing we're gonna do is to say what number will we give x to make this equation 0. So we'll start by saying 1. So if we have 1, this will be 1 cubed minus 3 into 1 squared minus 4 into 1 plus 12 is equal to what? So this is 1 minus 3. That will give us minus 2. Minus 2 minus 4 is minus 6. So this will not give us 0. So this equation is wrong. Next, we can look at 2. When you have 2, 2 cubed will give us what? 8 minus 3 into 2 squared minus 4 into 2 plus 12 is equal to 0. So we're having 8 minus 12 minus 8 plus 12. So this is 8 minus 8 is 0 and 12 minus 12 is what? 0. So we have that the first factor is x is equal to 2. So if x is equal to 2, that means this is what? X minus 2 is equal to 0. That means x minus 2 equal to 0 is a factor of this polynomial. Now we have to find two other factors. So what do? We'll have to do a division, a polynomial division, and that is x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x plus 12. Now this is one of our factors, so we'll just say x minus 2 here. So we're solving polynomial equation. So x cubed here and x. So this is what we're having. X cubed divided by x is the same thing as saying x. Remember our indices, x raised to the power 3 minus 1, which is equal to x raised to the power of 2. Remember the last video we did on indices. If you have not seen the indices video, please do well to go back to my channel and watch it. So this would give us what? X squared. X cubed divided by x will give us x squared. So now we'll multiply. X squared plus x will give us what? X cubed. Then you put this minus down. X squared times 2 will give us 2x squared. So now we have to subtract. X cubed minus x cubed will cancel out, and we're having be sensitive of the negative signs. Minus 3 minus minus 2 is the same thing as saying minus 3 plus 2, and that will give us what? Minus 1. But 1 is equivalent as having nothing, so we'll have just minus x squared, and you bring down this 4x plus 12. Now this will have to divide this. Remember we have a negative sign here, so I'm going to put this negative sign here. X squared divided by this will give us x, so I'm having x here. X times x will give us, remember we have a negative sign, minus x squared. Minus x times minus 2 will give us what? Plus 2x. Minus times minus will give us a positive sign. And here we have to what? Subtract. When you subtract here, this is the same thing as saying minus x squared minus minus x squared. It's the same thing as saying minus x squared plus x squared. So this will cancel out. Now we are left with minus 4x minus plus 2s. So minus 4x minus plus is minus. So minus 4x minus 2x will give us what? Minus 6x. And we'll bring down this 12. So 6x divided by x will give us what? 6. Remember, we have a negative sign, so this is what? Minus 6. Minus 6 times x will give us what? Minus 6x. Minus 6 times minus 2 is plus 12. So we'll have plus 12. When you subtract minus 6x, minus 6x is the same thing as saying minus 6 plus 6, which is the same thing as 6 minus 6. This is 0. 12 minus 12 is 0. So this is what? 0. So now we have this factorial, this equation, which is what? The factorization equation. So we'll just quickly solve this here. We're having x squared minus x minus 6 is equal to 0. So in factorization, we'll look at what? The constant term. The constant term here is minus 6. What are the factors that will give me minus 6? And when I add them, what are two factors that when I multiply them will give me minus 6? And when I add them will give me minus 1. So we know that the factors are what? 3 and 2. But remember, we have negative signs, so we need to play around that. If I multiply 3 times 2, it's going to give me 6. But if I add both of them, it's going to give me 5. So I need to introduce a negative sign to one of these constants. So if I have minus 3 and 2, minus 3 times 2 will give me what? A minus 6. Minus 3 plus 2 will give me what? A minus 1. So we have that our factor is what? Minus 3 and 2. So we'll just solve this way. X squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. This is the same thing as saying what? X squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 3 times 2, right? So when we factor this, you have, bringing out x here, your like terms here is x, then in brackets x minus 3. Now here, remember we have a positive 2 and a positive 2, so they are like terms, and the common one will have x minus 3 is equal to 0. So we're having x minus 3 and x plus 2 are the factors of our polynomial. So invariably, we're having x minus 3 is equal to 0. That means x is equal to 3. And we're having x plus 2 is equal to 0. That means x is equal to minus 2. And remember the first one we had, which is x minus 2 is equal to 0. That means x is equal to plus 2. So you just write x is equal to 2. So for this factorial, these are our solutions. So when you put minus 2 into this equation, it should give you 0. And when you put 3 into this polynomial equation, it will give you 0. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment. Thank you. See you in our next video. Bye.